All right, so today we are going to learn how to factor trinomials. Our objective is I will be able to factor trinomials of type ax squared plus bx plus c where a equals 1. And we're going to do it actually using the AC method, but we're also going to actually use algebra tiles and we're going to gamify it and have some fun with it. So just to start off with this lesson, I would just define the different terms, polynomials, monomials, what factor means, what it looks like. But then I would move into getting the students to get their hands on factoring trinomials because it can be a very abstract concept. So to do this, you can actually use real algebra tiles, or I found a pretty cool website. And I'll show that to you right now. It looks like this. So I would basically demonstrate to the students how to factor, let's say, x squared. So this blue square represents the x squared, and then each one of these represents an x, and then these yellow ones represent 1 each. So this would be x squared plus 5x plus 6. So the rules of this are, number one, you have to use all the tiles. Secondly, you have to make a rectangle. And third, you have to basically make sure that the like sides are touching. So see how these sides match up? I could not do, for example, this because those are not like sides. Okay, I could do this though. All right, so it's starting to shape up to look more like a rectangle. So I just continue putting my algebra tiles down. So I have to make this into a rectangle. So now I'm going to need the help of my little ones here. So if I bring these down in here, I'm getting close to my rectangle. Okay, I'm not putting these on here perfectly. I think you get the idea. So there it is. See how it's a closed rectangle? So I used all my tiles and they're touching the like sides. All right, so if you'll see, I could actually use this to factor this trinomial. If you look at the side length here, this is a side length of x, and then each one of these widths is a length of 1. So this would be x plus 3, and then this side length would be x plus 1, 2. So x plus 3 times x plus 2 would be the factored form of this trinomial. All right. So basically, I would just have students then practice that. I have several examples here: x squared plus 5x plus 4 that they could factor. Right. So that gets their hands on it. It's a concrete form of learning. Okay, then we would move into more of the abstract, and I would teach them how to factor trinomials using the AC method. And that's basically if you got, for example, x squared plus 8x plus 15, A times C goes here, so 1 times 15 goes up here, and then the middle term here, 8, goes here. And I got to think of two numbers that multiply to give me 15 and add to give me 8. And the two numbers would be 5 and 3, because 5 times 3 is 15, and 5 plus 3 is 8. So I would show them how to do that, and then have them, then we would do one together, and then I'd have them do one on their own as a check for understanding. And then when I felt like they were far enough along, I would gamify factoring. So I'd have them go to mangahigh.com and play the Rex Factor. And let me show you what that looks like. So it looks like this. Oops, let's go back into there. So the Rex Factor And I'm just going to have them do the simple ones to start off. So we're going to go for that. Gives you a little demonstration here of how to do it. We know how. All right. Basically, what you have to do is, so you have these ships that either hit icebergs or get struck by lightning or swamped by a wave, and they give you a trinomial, x squared plus 6x plus 9, and I have to factor that by using, so that's going to be a x plus 3 times x plus 3, and then they get rescued. This guy is x squared plus 3x plus 2, well, that's going to be a 2 by 1. So he gets rescued. Ooh, I got 8 and 7, so that's going to be a, what, a 7 by 1? Oh, when he gets rescued. Ah, we got x squared plus 5x plus 6. Ah, I know that's a 3 by 2. So it just gives them practice on how to factor these guys. This is going to be a, what, a 5 and a 3. So you get that. So it's really cool. Wow, this is a 1 by 1. So they can get really good at factoring. Gives them some fun practice. This would be, what, 7 by 1, and so on. So pretty cool. And I think that is the conclusion of course, then the exit ticket would be students factor that for me as their ticket out the door.